You thought success would take away the pain. Now you know it won't. No matter what the number on your bank account says or what you accomplish, you have the same struggles with yourself, the same conflict in your relationship, and the same uncomfortable feelings. Your money allows you to work less and spend more time with those you love. But slowing down from work isn't easy because work is your way to escape the restlessness that's been chasing you since you were a boy. Maybe it's even how you escape your relationship and being a fully present father. Doing is so much easier than just being. And let me tell you why. You are carrying a lot of unresolved pain that keeps calling for attention, and it will keep doing so until you deal with it. Deep down, you know this is true, but rather than facing it and doing the inner work you so badly need, you found ways to handle the symptoms. Work, exercise, sex, drugs, alcohol. You numb yourself, but the pain keeps coming back. It feels like a never-ending battle. But here's the good news. It's not. And in this video, I will show you exactly how to end it. I will show you how to break your destructive patterns so you can live fully and freely in all aspects of life. I was like you, so I'm not talking from theory. I've built numerous businesses, been the CEO of thousands of people, chairman in companies worth hundreds of millions, an investor and mentor. I spent 25 years as an entrepreneur and a decade as an elite athlete winning 7 national championships. I've had success, achieved exits, gone bankrupt, and rebuilt it all again. So I know what it feels like to win and lose, carry pressure and responsibility, not only for me, but for large organizations and the family. What I carried with me through all of that was a traumatic childhood, sexual abuse when I was 6, a violent alcoholic mother, violent bullying in school, and losing my mother to cancer at 16. All of those unhealed wounds created a behavioral pattern that looked like ambition and discipline, even to myself. But now I know I was running from my past. I was seeking validation and suppressed my true self to be liked. I wanted to feel good enough. But even though I could manage business really well, I couldn't manage myself. I couldn't be present in relationships and always felt empty and alone. This ultimately led to divorce. I paid the highest price a man can pay, losing the family that has always been my dream. The truth is, I was blind to my own patterns. I never connected the dots. I lived like many successful men do. I got the big ocean view villa, had a yacht in the harbor, a beautiful sports car, and my dream motorbike in the garage. Did luxury travel with the family, all while my marriage was falling apart right in front of my eyes. Maybe this sounds familiar to your life. If you want my help, just click the link in the description or stay with me to learn how I came up with the methodology I use to work with men. During my divorce, I finally broke down. First, my body, which meant I couldn't push hard in the gym on a daily basis or work countless hours every week. Work and exercise were the drugs I had used to numb my pain for decades. Without those, I couldn't keep my pain from the past behind me anymore. It finally caught up and I broke down emotionally as well. That pushed me from survival mode into pure suffering. I was having suicidal thoughts on a very regular basis. That pain forced me to finally embrace my inner work. I needed a way out, alive. So I went all in. At the end of the day, family is the most important business you will ever have. And mine was about to go bankrupt. I did about 200 hours of therapy, started doing yoga, meditation, breathwork, tantra, and even plant medicine. I needed healing and wanted to take full responsibility for my part of the problems in the marriage. I wanted to be the father my kids deserved and not pass on my pain to them as my parents unknowingly had passed theirs on to me. Those years of intensive work taught me one thing more than anything else. If your relationship with yourself is broken, everything else will fall apart. It's just a matter of time. Though my work didn't save the marriage, it did save me. It made me the best version of myself. I found my path to healing, and I learned something else. From sharing my journey with men close to me, I found out that I was not alone with a dysfunctional past. That too many men carry too much for too long, alone, and we all pay a high price. But we don't share. Because we're afraid other men will see us as weak. We are locked in our perception of masculinity. So I embarked on a 3-year journey where I studied intensely to understand which parts of my past pain and healing was normal and what was just me. The truth I found is that we are much more alike than we're different. I used all of my personal experience and my years of deep research to develop my program for men, to help them out of pain, fast and efficient, by helping them connect the dots that I couldn't before I did my own inner work. Many know what happened in their childhood. Few know who they became because of it. And almost no one can identify how that plays into the challenges they keep facing in their lives and how they feel about themselves. Step 1 in the process I take men through is going back in time and see what went wrong and understand how that lives in them today. This is critical because your entire belief system was created in your early years. And unless you revisit that, you will stay locked in a perception of reality that was created by an 8 or 10-year-old. That boy is basically running your life. And the painful experiences he had to live through without the love and support he needed is what makes you feel you're not good enough, restless, angry, anxious, or not worth loving. Trauma is very individual. Someone can have experienced something that objectively sounds horrible, but it doesn't dictate their lives. But the opposite is also true. Someone can be unaware of something painful that happened in their past, like a father who wasn't alcoholic or violent, but simply wasn't there. And that controls their actions entirely. A constant search for the validation their father never gave them. Once we know what happened and understand the damage it caused, the healing work can begin. That's where the relationship with yourself gets fixed once and for all. It's like mending a broken foundation that you've built your whole life on. And when that's done, you will finally be at peace with yourself. The uncomfortable feelings that have kept coming up your entire life will stop screaming for attention because you finally listened and dealt with them. That will feel like an incredible relief. More men that I've worked with describe this as something in their stomach clicked or 1,000 kilos have been lifted from their shoulders. Dealing with your past in this way will turn your open wounds from the past into scar tissue, and it will no longer hurt when that parts of you get touched. This work can change the past, but it will definitely change how it lives in you. You might have worked with a therapist, psychologist, or a coach before, and even have a good idea of what happened. What most men haven't been able to do is release the old pain and close the wounds. And that's why nothing ever changed. The feelings are still the same, and the foundation remains broken. That's what makes working with me different. I don't only see the patterns you're stuck in very clearly and very fast. I will help you heal your wounds, and I will walk with you. I will openly share my own stories so you know that you can trust me and don't feel alone or ashamed. This will not feel like a doctor-client relationship, but me helping you find your way because I know exactly where you are and where you're going. Then we start looking at all other aspects of life. I call it the wheel of life, and it has 6 parts. Your physical foundation, your mental resilience, your emotional maturity, your relational strength, your sexual consciousness, and finally, your financial freedom. The truth is that you need to be strong in all of them to be able to navigate life with competence and confidence. If one part is weak, it will weaken the other parts over time. So in this phase, we determine which parts need improvement. I work from the principle, if it's not broken, don't fix it, which means we won't spend time on what's already working. But let me walk through every part briefly. The first part is your physical foundation. Your physical foundation is about having a body that looks, performs, and feels like the man you want to be. Also in the bedroom. For 70%, that is not the case. The majority are overweight and suffer from chronic pain. Close to half have erectile issues or high blood pressure, and the list goes on. When we don't take care of our bodies, the consequence is not only that we're ashamed of the man in the mirror, that we lose our self-respect. We're allowing our bodies to become a liability more than an asset. It prevents us from living the life we want because we simply don't have the energy to show up as the best version of ourselves. When you don't live a healthy life, you are telling yourself loud and clear that you are not worth taking care of. That needs to change. Many say that they will die for their partner or kids. Being in shape is about living for them, because that's what they need, that you are truly alive, full of energy and present, not dead or dead tired because you don't take care of yourself. If you need support in this area, we'll dive into nutrition, sleep, recovery, and exercise, so your body will support the life you want to live. And equally important, that you are fully connected to your body, because most men aren't. I've been in great shape for decades. I know what works, and I can help you find your way of getting there permanently without going to war with yourself. Moving on to the next part, your mental resilience, which is about your ability to control your mind and killing habits that don't serve you. It's about avoiding overthinking, anxiety, and negative inner dialogue. It's about being able to focus on what needs to be done and stay away from what steals your time and attention but has very little value, like constant scrolling on your phone. The reality is that 75% can't do that. Only 25% show stable mental discipline, and the price they pay is not reaching their goal and being in constant battle with their own minds. Many successful men are super strong mentally. They belong to the 25%, but they use that strength to avoid their emotions. That overloads their mind and weakens their emotional strength, which turns their mental strength into a weakness. That's why an important part of the work we will do here is not only optimizing your mental strength, but understanding when and when not to use it. We will make sure your brain is working for you and not against you. The next part, emotional maturity, is where most high achieving men score low, despite their success in other parts of life. Emotional maturity is made up of 3 pillars: your emotional health, strength, and intelligence. Your emotional health means understanding how your past lives in you and healing that. Most men avoid this work because it's uncomfortable and they simply don't know how. The outcome is that they stay trapped in old emotions without realizing that's the real reason they're stuck in multiple key areas of life, like relationship and fatherhood, but also their ability to change destructive patterns, beliefs, and habits. Your emotional strength is your ability to stay with difficult emotions rather than suppressing or avoiding them, which most do. We distract or numb ourselves, and this is also where anger often comes in. When we are faced with difficult emotions as fathers or in our romantic relationship, many men use anger to shut down their children or partner so they don't have to stay with the uncomfortable emotions. The consequence is that we take away their feeling of safety. And that is key to the depth in those relationships. And a woman who doesn't feel safe will lose her desire for her man. So we will pay the price in our sex lives as well. And lastly, our emotional intelligence, which is our ability to understand and regulate our own emotions as well as other people's emotions. You could also call this empathy. And the important part here is not only that you have empathy for others, but for you as well. That you don't abandon yourself, but understand that being loving to you is the most loving thing you can do to everyone. The truth is that only about 15% demonstrate emotional maturity. The work we do here will make sure you will become one of those few people who can comfortably navigate their emotions. Since you're still watching, I'm sure you can recognize yourself in a lot of what I'm saying. I also hope you're realizing what kind of work you need to do. There's a link below where you can find out how you can work with me. If it feels right, check it out. Or stay with me till the end of the video. We're almost there. Okay, let's talk about relational strength. That starts with your relationship with you, but expands into romantic relationship, fatherhood, and deep friendships. Most successful men struggle here because of their relationship with themselves. But rather than looking inwards, they make their uncomfortable feelings about someone or something else. And that makes any type of relationship difficult. You will end up in the same type of conflicts because you are more busy explaining, justifying, and excusing yourself than being curious about the other person and your own behavior. You fear being vulnerable. You never open up fully, and that makes you feel alone, even when you're with those you care most about. We will also be looking into attachment styles, relationship dynamics, and tools to handle conflict, because healthy relationships both hold emotional and practical aspects. It's basically about understanding how you show up as the best version of you, as a friend, father, and partner, because that's how you build lasting and true depth in love and relationship. And in the end, nothing is more important than that. Another important part of men's lives is their sex life. Sexual energy is where we come from. It's a life force. And if that isn't flowing freely, we struggle. Statistically, most men would like more sex. We feel we're chasing and not getting what we want. And you might very well live one sex life in your head and another with your partner, because fantasies are never spoken about. The truth is that we're undereducated in this area. We don't fully understand our own sexuality, and female sexuality even less. The opportunity in this area is to deep dive into everything from anatomy, orgasms, and male-female polarity, so you will feel comfortable taking leadership. This is where you'll learn how to expand your sex life and create the perfect conditions for sex, so her desire rises and flows freely. We can also dive into men's sexual challenges like performance anxiety and erectile dysfunction, which are very common but never spoken about, and how porn and masturbation can destroy or support your partner's sex life. Again, our work is about you. We're not following a list with tick boxes. Everything will be centered about your life and how we can make that exactly as you want it to be. If you're working with me, you've already established financial success. But for many, that does not equal financial freedom, because that's not just about money, it's also a feeling. We can easily stay trapped in old patterns and beliefs, which includes carrying financial stress because of our past, or because we fail to create systems that make money work for us and not the other way around. Others fail to understand how wealthy they actually are because they confuse cash flow with the value of assets that might not even be liquid. Becoming wealthy is only half the equation. Staying wealthy is the other side of that coin. Trust me on this one. I've built, lost, and rebuilt a few times because I got this wrong. You know the saying, more money, more problems. We want to make sure your financial freedom supports your life and makes you happier, rather than becoming a new prison with more pressure and, worst case, your source of worth. Once we've identified your weaknesses and have strengthened those parts of your life, you've become a whole man, equally strong in all aspects of life and able to navigate both the emotional and practical challenges life throws at you with confidence, because you have the competences and you have all the tools you need. Most men start real inner work when their pain becomes unbearable, when they've fallen from surviving to suffering. That's why many men stop working when they make it back to surviving. But that's not the point of the work we will do. We will work until you are living fully and freely. That's how you will be able to keep and truly enjoy the financial success you've already created. That's how you'll be able to enjoy love at a whole new level with calm, clarity, and presence. You've built plenty of success on the outside. Now it's time to do the same on the inside. Your next level of success starts with inner mastery. That's how you'll finally get rid of the pain and unlock the life you've been craving for a very long time. If you're ready to take the next step, check the link in the description. This is the work I do with men who look successful on the outside but still struggle inside. If this is you, you'll know.